Hello, Theo traders. This is Gianni DePoce, and today is the 25th of June, 2024, and I want to review some charts with you today, starting off with the S&P 500, which continues to consolidate near its all-time highs. We're seeing a fresh round of tech leadership today and a general consolidation of many of the big moves that we've seen, especially in the chip names. Take a look at the NASDAQ here, and you'll see that it's up almost 1%. You are seeing the Dow lag behind so far today, and I must admit, I really need to see a new all-time high from the Dow in the coming days and weeks. If we fail to register a new all-time high in the Dow, I think that could turn into a major sell signal. Now, we know that technology has a tendency to lead, which is a good thing that we're seeing it now. But we do need to see confirmation of participation from other sectors of the market. But in the meantime, chips are seeing a nice rebound. NVIDIA trying to see a little bit of a bid off of a potential higher low. I think the move in NVIDIA is pretty much capped out near term. That doesn't mean it's going to roll over. On the contrary, I think it's going to embark on a new period of consolidation, similar to what we saw in that time frame between March and April. And time will tell as to whether it can build another base from which it can continue higher. One of the semiconductor names that we shared recently in the chat room is Amkor Technology. We blew through resistance, came back down to retest and completed at a higher low. The long position is still in effect on that stock, and it's looking pretty good. But, across the entire technological landscape, CrowdStrike consolidated near the highs. That's another position we're in. Arista Network consolidated near the highs. That's another position we're in. And Altair Engineering, another position we're in, where it continues to consolidate near the highs. So as we continue to see tech lead, I'm also keeping an open mind and searching for new leadership. And let's start off by looking at the second biggest sector in the S&P 500, that being healthcare. Healthcare continues to consolidate near its all-time highs. You take a look at the weekly and even the monthly chart here. This looks like a fresh, ripe base from which a new crop of breakout stocks could be discovered. And we have to also understand that the healthcare sector is pretty broad and all-encompassing. You have health insurance companies, you have pharmaceutical companies, you have biotech companies. So there's a lot of categories that need to be considered in the healthcare space. And the one that has my attention the most right now is biotech. Now, there's two ETFs you can look at, IBB or XBI. And there's also the index that you can look at, the New York Stock Exchange Biotechnology Index. And all of these look ripe for a major breakout higher. Especially when you zoom out, you'll see that a lot of these biotech indices or ETFs, however you want to slice it, have not made new highs since 2021. And I think that's providing a really nice opportunity for a fresh round of stocks to participate in this bull market. So saying that I'm bullish biotech at this point would be an understatement. I think it could be one of the top performing sectors in the third quarter, assuming this bull market continues. Otherwise, its laggard behavior is a bit of a concern, and we could see a major washout. But I'm not taking that side of the trade right now. And I've even started to dip my toes in names like Nurix Therapeutics. I really like the setup that's going on there. And over the weekend, I was doing a scan of the Dow Jones, the 30 stocks within the Dow Jones. And I found that two of the strongest looking charts in the Dow fell under this healthcare / pharmaceutical / biotech umbrella. And take a look at Amgen here. This one is holding up near its highs, looks ripe for a breakout. This could really help the Dow Jones if the rest of the index fails to participate. And then the other one was Merck. Merck is now, this is a new all-time high in Merck, and it's starting to try and break out from this ascending triangle formation, which is a continuation pattern. So I'm seeing really encouraging signs underneath the surface of the healthcare and biotech and pharmaceutical sector that lends itself to the idea that a new bull market in this space could unfold. And for context, I do want to just jump back over to the long-term chart of biotech and take a look at the monthly level. This was one of the strongest sectors in the market during the 2010s. It essentially, quadrupled in value and even more between 2011 and 2015. And if you look at current prices relative to where the high was in 2015, we're barely above that. So here we are 9 years later in a sector where there's been a lot of innovation with respect to weight loss drugs and cancer research and vaccination research. And I think there's a lot of opportunities in this sector. So it's definitely one that I'll be watching going into Q3 next week. I do want to take a look at cryptocurrencies. We're seeing a nice bounce on this front in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. This could be construed as a higher low with respect to the trend, but since we broke support in both Bitcoin and Ethereum, I do need to see Bitcoin start closing back above 62,000. When it comes to Ethereum, I do want to see it back above 3,600. But the big leader in the crypto space is Hut 8 Mining Corporation. We did share a trade with members on this stock, and it's seeing some excellent follow through, up over 16% as of right now on the day, and it's looking bullish. But it's not really permeating across the entire sector. Names like Mara continue to struggle, and Riot Platforms not looking as good. But if you look at MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor's company, this one's looking a little bit more encouraging. Coinbase kind of consolidating, trying to complete a higher low. So the leadership in the crypto space is not as clean as it was before. Robinhood also trying to complete a higher low. Let's take a look at precious metals. Gold and silver still chopping around. Silver is leading the sell-off lower. I'd like to see a higher low complete. We could be seeing some liquidation here with the final days in the July contract. We will be switching over to the September contract in the coming days, but a few of our names in the space continue to hold up well. Anglo Gold, Ashanti, and Agnico Eagle Mines. I still like what's happening in that space. And I do want to draw some attention to the bond market. You are seeing duration start to lead. We have big inflation reports at the end of this week, the core PCE numbers, the Fed's preferred inflation metric, because it allows for substitution of consumer goods and services. I'm not ruling out the possibility of one more rip higher in bonds before a high of significance is complete, but it really could be, it could go either way at this point, quite frankly. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a scenario that if the Fed cuts rates, you'll see long-term bond sell-offs and still be adding back to the money supply. So interest rates coming down will be good for names in the tech space. I'm also watching Amazon very closely here for a potential breakout. I have an upside target of 220. Google, which is a stock that has been very good for members in chat. We did start buying this stock near the lows in March, and it is on its way to new all-time highs. So you got to love the price action on that as well. And Apple consolidating its gains in a healthy manner. So when I look across the large cap stocks in this market that have really driven the returns higher, I see consolidations, I see new potential leadership for biotech, and I see a macroeconomic environment that could lead to lower interest rates and ultimately lead to a continuation of the sectors that could easily push this market higher in the coming weeks and months. So that's all that I wanted to talk about with you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the TheoTRADE chat room.